Hello everybody, NGS here and welcome back to Arifureta Season 2, Episode 9. Shit is slowly hitting the fan, it would seem. We are getting fast into, seemingly at least, the end game of at least this arc. A lot happened in the last episode, or rather, a lot of uh, high significance happened. Not a lot quantitatively, but yeah, not a lot of quantity wise, but a lot quality wise, so to speak. First of all, Captain Meld, or whatever his name is, was of course killed by Daisuke and his compatriots, or rather the slaves of the void, or whatever it's called. And we got the first appearance of one of the servants of the god, not the god proper, one of the servants. And yeah, that didn't end well for Meld. And of course, nobody questions it. I mean, sure, Hajime's classmates do question it, but they aren't really doing anything more with it. They're just like, oh, Captain disappeared and the guards disappeared. I wonder what it's all about. Huh, that's kind of interesting. A little bit unsettling, but mostly just, a curious thing. At least that's the vibe I'm getting. Nobody seems to be actually doing anything. Everyone's thinking and searching and looking and wondering, and nobody does anything. There is no action behind what they're doing. Maybe that's just the vibe I'm getting from the adaptation. The light novels probably went into more detail into what Hajime's classmates were doing during that time, so I'm willing to, forgive that. And of course, another set of big events is on Hajime's side, right? Hajime met the princess again, and the princess carried the news of the teacher being kidnapped and closed shut in some dungeon. Of course, that dungeon posed absolutely no problem to Hajime and his merry troop. They just blasted the wall down, and Hajime was able to rescue his teacher. But that's when things get complicated because the very same servant of the god that killed Meld appeared before Hajime and basically erased one of the towers of the prison, which is no small feat. Now we all, of course, know that Hajime will manage, but the entire appeal of the show here is that we don't know how exactly will he manage. I had some very similar thoughts during, I believe, last episode of Sabiku Ibisco when I was talking about what did I call it? Deus Ex Machinas, right? Essentially Aspals. Hajime can have any sort of an Aspal, right? He can pull out a submarine out of his pocket. He can summon a tank. He can do whatever the fuck. And it doesn't break immersion because it's been established that he can actually do that. And some people are like strongly against Deus Ex Machina. They believe that it cheapens the experience. And sure enough, if it's handled incorrectly, it absolutely does. But if the entire core of the show revolves around that Deus Ex Machina, it's fun. Because sure, you're not worried about your characters, whether they're gonna get hurt, they're gonna die, because they aren't, right? You watch it to see exactly are they gonna do, how exactly are they gonna get out of that sticky situation, what new contraption will Hajime create to help them, right? Kind of the same way you watch Overlord, which is absolutely a power fantasy, but you're watching to see what the next power will be, right? And I had this bit of discussion during Sabiku Ibisco because Sabiku Ibisco handled that incorrectly. Arifureta actually handles it correctly. In Sabiku Ibisco, the issue was that a similar Deus Ex Machina was established, but when it would have actually been useful, it wasn't used. Right? It's as if Hajime was fighting someone and just didn't pull out a gun. Just decided to not do that. Right? Something similar to that hypothetical happened in Sabiku Ibisco, and it kind of soured the show to me, to be honest with you. Arifureta does it well. It really does. I never thought that at this point I would be praising Arifureta over Sabiku Ibisco, but here we are. Here we are. Sabiku Ibisco fucked up, and Arifureta is only getting better. So what can I do? This is the reality we live in. I swear, if next month they tell us that aliens came to Earth and want to fuck every single male, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be kind of excited, actually. Yeah, yeah, really. Arifureta being better than Sabiku Ibisco. Mind blown. Absolutely. But let's not talk about that. Let's see what else will Arifureta blow our minds with. And to do that, you guys are gonna need some subs and a timer, and I'm gonna need my headphones. And we can start this episode as soon as I make sure that it is actually episode 9, but I don't think I would have made that mistake. It is episode 9, a version by Saps, please, as always, and it's gonna be starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, in medias res, I like it. Noint. Okay, apostle. That was the word I was looking for. Ravioli, ravioli, protect your teacher, loli. Okay, right into the OP. That's fine. That's some nettle tea, by the by. Stinging nettle. Hmm. Honestly, I would have, after season 1, I would never have expected that Arifureta is gonna get this good and this enjoyable. Honest. Am I framed correctly? I think I am. I don't know. It is what it is. You're not here to look at my face, you're here to listen to my commentary, I assume. If you're here to look at my face, kinda weird, but hit me up. uh, yeah, it's not easy to frame myself correctly every time because I don't have a camera, I have a phone in a very wobbly and wonky, like, selfie stick kind of deal, but it also has a tripod at the bottom, and that's how I mount my phone each time before I start recording. So there's no two episodes where I'm framed the exact same way. Oh, well, that's no bueno. It was so weak because it wasn't Hajime who created it. Or I assume it was that weak because it was made weak on purpose. Okay, go and eat them. Oh, so it really was a very weak barrier. I thought it had some like weak spot or something, but no. If a dragon was able to just break it, what are you planning, you? Oh, okay. Revenge. Music kicks in. Bad CGI attacks. Yeah, good luck shooting electricity at a stone wall. Something, anything? And you're jealous of that treatment. Yeah? Yeah, she's not gonna fight. She's just a glorified Uber. Oh, spatial magic. That's very useful. Oh no, I thought it's you who opened the portal and they escaped through it. So he is still alive after all. Bad CG storms the capital. Not even film grain can hide it. What's that ring? A limit breaker? Oh, spatial magic. Okay, that's a very cool use for spatial magic. Use your enemy's attacks against them. Haha! Yeah, it's not gonna be easy. And your dragons look like penguins. Plus L plus ratio. Yeah, no problem. She's just gonna go to the Shadow Realm. They seriously look like penguins. Oh, Okay, flashback to season 1. She was an enemy, though. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's on her. She's a hard ass. Fat chance with your penguin dragons shooting projectiles from their chests. Use my gun. Oh, okay. It's like that toy where you have a bowl and a little wooden hammer, and they're connected with a string. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's popular in Japan, at least from what anime tells me. Oh, when did you learn that though? Not gonna lie, her ball and chain is a cool weapon conceptually, but I can't, ignore the fact that her hammer is also a gun. And I have a feeling that using a gun would be, you know, a little bit better than using a ball and chain. Just a hunch. I never fought wyverns with either of those weapons, but call it my gut. Make sure he's dead though. Okay, time for US battle. Spatial magic? No, just black holes. I guess black hole is a form of spatial magic. Lightning eating turtles. That's interesting. She can use your magic against yourself, though. Or she can use more electricity. If one lightning isn't enough, maybe 5 will be. I'm reminded of the scene from Overlord, right? Oh, you thought you're resistant to magic. Well, I'll have you know, you're only resistant to magic of a 5th tier. I can use magic of a higher tier. That's essentially what it is. That's a long ass incantation. That's an awful lot of energy for something called void. That's more of a supernova than a black hole. Well, that's not good. So, what's the trick that you have up your sleeve? Close quarters lightning? Revival reversal? What? That's an interesting magic. Like what, she moved her own wound onto him? Is that how it worked? Is he gonna escape again? He is gonna escape again. Okay, so a recurring villain then. No, he fled actually. Yeah. And the third fight of this episode. Oh, right, his gun crosses. uh, because your lord cannot control him. Okay. That's a very apt description for a god. You just let her cast that, okay. Yes, actually. Damn, those crosses are really, versatile. Holy chants that are supposed to give her more power? Is that it? Oh, a debuff. Take the fight elsewhere? Get out of the range of their debuff? She's working with the demons, though. That's the problem. Yep, already is. There goes the lack of emotions, huh? Although, sure, I guess it's a hit's orders. Hmm? Oh, another attack? Okay, Theo to the rescue, just in the nick of time. Maybe, like, destroy the whole building so that there's nobody to sing their debuff songs? Yeah, whatever was shining there should have already probably pierced them through. Oh no, I thought, you know, shine in the mist, in the smoke usually means that there's a projectile incoming, but not this time apparently. Unless it was Neo or whatever her name is, that was the projectile and she shot out. But not at them, just besides them, because such is the will of Ehid, I guess. Hmm. That did not feel like 22 minutes. Man, kind of a pity that I'm watching it as it's coming out and not like the next season because I can't binge it. I can't just go straight to watching episode 10. That was the cool thing about Symphogear. I watched episodes 11, 12, and 13 in a single sitting. That's why this episode of Arifureta is late, by the way, because yesterday I wanted to record those Frontline, Symphogear, and Arifureta, but I ended up recording those Frontline and 3 episodes of Symphogear instead. Had to cut my losses somewhere. God's Apostle. Okay, so the next episode is just gonna be the battle with the God's Apostle. Okay, let's go through this episode again. See what it has in store that we perhaps didn't notice. Noint. Not Neo, Noint. Yeah, it's an interesting structure of 3 separate fights. You know? Uh, doesn't feel all that organic, but maybe it does feel kinda organic. Hard to tell. There is something. There is something inorganic, so to speak, about separating their fights this way. Like, uh, what's her name? Yue and the rabbit. I forgot her name. I genuinely forgot her name. Uh, Arifureta. No, not Tule. Tule was in Gate. What's her face? Shia. Shia. Yeah, Shia. Yue and Shia having their own fight. Hajime having his own fight. Cool. Yue and Shia splitting up. Not so much. I don't know why I'm yawning. It's not even that. Okay, it is late, but it hasn't been long since I've woken up. Maybe let me say it that way. How could it be so weak? Yeah, that's actually a good question. How could it be so weak for just a single dragon attack to completely break it? Like, I would have hoped that a barrier surrounding the capital of the country would be a little bit stronger. You know, at least strong enough to withstand a dragon attack. So, question is, was it sabotaged? Was it made weak on purpose? Or is the dragon, the white dragon, simply just this strong? I don't know. I guess time will tell. Yeah, Tio to the rescue. And they are leaving Princess with Kaori. 2 weakest characters left to fend for themselves, essentially. Uh, it could be an issue. I'm not sure. Maybe Hajime left them with some gadgets. I don't know. I don't know. Or maybe it's just not gonna be an issue. Because the 2 biggest players on the enemy side, right? Um, Noin, Noint, Noint, I think, Noint. Noint is occupied with Hajime. The demon general dude is occupied with Yue. Other dragons are occupied with Shia. So Kaori and the princess are mostly, safe, but there is also the nun. There is also um, the 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 sleazy dude, Hajime's classmate. I forgot his name. There is also the people who are mind controlled. There are a lot of dangers, and neither Kaori nor the princess are so super extremely strong the way other members of Hajime's harem are. Right? They are literally the weakest ones. If they were left with Shia, even just Shia. I wouldn't be, mentioning anything here, but since they are left completely alone, I have a feeling something might happen to them. Maybe not. Hard to tell, but I have a feeling something might. March of the Bad CG. That is one huge wall, by the way. Yeah, that's like, what, 5-story tall? Holy shit. Kinda in awe at the dude just using lightning on solid rock. What are you hoping to achieve? Shooting lightning at a rock wall. Like, heat, sure, you can potentially melt it if you heat it up enough, but lightning? It's not conductive. Hmm. Yeah, Theo to the rescue. Spatial magic. I guess the Demon General also has the spatial magic. Yeah. Recognition. And very cool use of spatial magic. Makes me wonder why she's not using it more. Although it was mentioned that it's hard to use, so probably also taxing. So she probably has to leave spatial magic for special occasions. She can't be using it willy nilly. At least that's the vibe I'm getting. That's the explanation. And I just can't get over those wyverns looking like penguins. Why do they have yellow beaks? Genuinely, why do they have yellow beaks? Is it like a penguin wyvern? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, we'll have to split up, of course. And okay, so it was Shia who removed herself from the fight with the help of US magic. I thought it was Yue who took the fight somewhere else. Yeah, yada, yada, yada. This is a very nice scene. In general, the fight between this dude, whoever he is, and Shia, it shows a lot of growth in Shia and a lot of Hajime's influence, mainly. Need I remind you that she started off as purely a comic relief character, essentially, and sure, she's been a comic relief character even now, even up to this point. But when she gets serious, you can see in this, this set of scenes during this fight, you can see that she can get serious. Right? She's very carefree, sure, but she is very much a hard ass. I don't care about any of that. Yeah, I don't care about your loved one. Ah, I see. So what? I don't care about who she was. She attacked us. Yeah, I've no interest in hearing your sob story. I love it. I love this. I love this character development. If it was taking place in like early episodes of season one, she would probably get all teary-eyed, and we'd see as a comic moment, right? She'd try to hug this dude or something, all crying, and he'd be trying to pry her off, and ha ha ha, all for laughs. But now, no. She's been very battle worn, battle hardened during her travels with Hajime. This ball and chain, as cool as it is, first of all, the CG is kind of shit, not gonna lie. Second of all, it doesn't make much sense. It's been shown that her hammer can serve as a gun. Point, click, shoot. The wyvern falls down. Why swing a concrete ball on a chain? I know that she has super strength and she can allow herself to do that, but why? How is it better than using a gun? Uh, yes, light needles out of nowhere. That's something I mentioned. I don't know if I should tell you about it or not. During Symphogear episode that hasn't aired yet. Attacks, energy attacks that come seemingly out of nowhere. These attacks are coming out of their wings, seemingly, right? If they had some holes in those wings, right? And those lights were coming out of it. Sure, if those light beams had like a tiny little magic circle where they started, and every single small magic circle would be shooting out a constant stream of those light needles. Sure, I'm all for it, because that magic would have some origin point. But when that's something that happened in Symphogear, when Hibiki punched the air and it released a swarm of tiny little projectiles, or when here air under their wings releases projectiles, not a huge fan of it. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's just my own personal pet peeve, but I'm not a fan. It always feels cheap, right? We didn't want to animate an origin point for it, so it just appears out of nowhere. We wanted the character to have scattershot attack, but they don't have anything that does scattershot attack, so I guess her punches can do a scattershot attack. Who the fuck cares? Right? That kind of approach. It always feels very, very cheap, and and it also cheapens like existing kinds of attacks, kind of sorta. Like when it's established that a slash with a sword can release a slash wave, a punch can release a shockwave, or even an energy shockwave. Sure, let's be fancy. Absolutely, a pink energy shockwave or whatever. I'm down. Absolutely. Uh, Ice can shoot lasers, right? All that's established and all of that makes sense. There's some origin to that power. And then suddenly you have needles out of wings, completely out of nowhere. When Yue is using her magic, right? It always has some origin. When did Hajime ever use magic? I can't recall. But whenever anybody uses magic, it always, usually at least, has some origin, some, as I mentioned, magic circle that the magic comes out of. There's no origin point here. And it feels very cheap, and it feels very. How should I say it? Uh, it shows you that something like that could have happened anytime, that magic doesn't need an origin point, that technically you could summon a beam of energy in the middle of a hallway when someone's running and it slices them in half. You could maybe summon an energy sphere inside of someone's stomach or something. It removes a lot of rules, a lot of limitations that are implied. They aren't specified, literally and outright, but those are implied limitations. When you show the ability of magic to appear literally out of thin air, it kind of destroys those limitations, those boundaries. And I'm not a fan of that. But enough about it. Uh, Stone and needles. Quasi restoration magic. When was it established? Can I ask when was this established? Also, her hammer no longer has a chain attached to it. And now it does. And that's just a tiny nitpick comparatively, but still something worth mentioning. She can, of course, dodge anything and just smacks him down into the ground. And is very happy about being called a monster because it implies a certain level of strength, and she's happy that someone recognized her strength. Yue using her black hose, her dragon. What's the deal with the lightning eating turtle though? Is it just a thing that we should accept exists? Does it have a basis in like Japanese mythology or something, and I'm simply not aware of the reference? That might be it. Are there any like, you know what? I'm gonna look it up. Lightning eating turtle. Lightning eating turtle. Very scary turtle. Catch, clean, cook, snapping turtle. Must see videos of a giraffe, lightning, and a turtle. Lightning and healing for turtles. Yeah, I didn't mention lighting, I mentioned lightning. Snapping turtles and lightning. No, it doesn't seem to be a thing in any mythology, at least not in any mythology that the first page of Google knows about. Feels very Aspooly, but you know what? I don't mind, honestly. I don't mind. As long as I have Absol with me. But how about 5 lightning dragons? Woo! And they're not just lightning dragons, they are elemental lightning dragons. Here's ice lightning, and here's rock lightning, or something. Uh, that's a real long incantation. I have to ask, why did Yue not try to stop it? Why did she do? Maybe it was part of her plan, but it's kind of hard to believe, honestly, that she planned that far ahead. But who knows, maybe. She spears right through, and she uses Revival Reversal. And that pierces the dragon's chest, that pierces the demon's general chest. And Yue seems that she no longer has her wound. Which makes me think that Revival Reversal is the kind of magic that transfers your own wounds onto your enemy. Perhaps used as at the last moment, as you're dying, you can kill your enemy instead and take their life for your own, and revive yourself at the cost of your enemy. That's a very neat concept. If it's an actual magic here, I really like it. We only just need to establish a cost of this magic. Does it take like a lot of energy? Can it be used only a limited amount of times? Or, what the rules are? Because if you can just, stab yourself, sell revival reversal, and your enemy kills over, or your enemy stabs you, you say, you basically pull a Uno reverse card on them. That's not great. That's not great. So we need to kind of establish some limitations to that magic. But she asks, how does it feel? The wound Hajime inflicted. And he says that, did she restore the injury I received in the past? So was the goal of her magic to reopen the wound that he suffered in the past? But if so, then why did Dragon get wounded as well? And why did Yue heal so quickly? Or did she take that horn on purpose in that place where Hajime stabbed him last, so that when she inflicts that wound on him, it's kind of the same wound as like what Hajime inflicted on him? I I'm kind of confused here, very confused. Please retreat, and she just lets him. She just allows him to retreat. She just creates a barrier, and those damned dragons are just flying into it like a fly and an open window. Left window's open, the right window's closed because it doesn't open. Which window does the fly try to fly out of? The right window, of course, the one that doesn't open. I fucking hate flies. But kinda weird that she didn't try to stop him. He can use spatial magic, can't she use it? Couldn't she have opened a portal in front of this portal so it portals him to the bottom of the ocean or something, you know? Anything. I know that she's been under the constant onslaught of the lesser dragons, but can't she just get rid of them easily? Maybe not. And of course, the third fight of the episode, Hajime's fight. And those crosses are extremely, extremely versatile. A very neat idea to have a weapon that can also serve as a means of protection, right? He used them once as a shield, now he can use them as a shield projector, essentially, and they're flying, which makes them super cool. I'm a sucker for levitating weapons. This barrier gimmick was just a prototype, of course it was. Creation magic and spatial magic. Debuff song from the church. Why not destroy that church? Maybe Hajime likes the song, who the fuck knows? And yeah, it's already been... I believe it's already been known, or at least you could figure it out, that he doesn't really care about humanity, doesn't really care about demonkind, doesn't really care about anything except themselves. Ehit wants the world to burn because they think it would be funny, so the world burns. And Ehit has a good jolly old laugh about it. He arrives in the nick of time, takes the teacher with her, and now it's Hajime versus Nihihohaha, whatever her name is. 1v1. Final battle of the season, seemingly, but it will be only episode 10. So what's gonna happen in episodes 11 and 12? That's the question. That actually is the question. What's gonna happen in episodes 11 and 12? And that is assuming that the entirety of episode 10 will be Hajime's fight. Hmm. Yeah. That was a very entertaining episode. I wanted to call it a very good episode, but it quite frankly wasn't very good. It was good, but not very good. It was, however, very entertaining. We squeezed in 3 pretty much major battles. Although I'm not a huge fan of like action only episodes, battle only episodes. That's why I already know I would fucking hate the guts of Dragon Ball, where a single fight can take like 15 episodes. No, please let me have some downtime during the episode where the characters sit down and talk and something besides the fight happens. We didn't quite get that this episode, but I don't mind, honestly. It was entertaining enough. So, yeah, now the question remains, since the final battle, quote unquote, will take place the next episode, the battle between Hajime and the Ehit's apostle, what will be left for episodes 11 and 12? I'm assuming maybe the final dungeon, the final. Yeah, that might be it. That might be what. That might be what they're. That might be what they want to do. Hmm. Yeah, actually, I think that's it. In the next episode, we're gonna see the battle. We're gonna see the aftermath of the battle. Hajime might be offered some reward or whatever. They're gonna grieve over Meld, and I don't know, but we're gonna see the aftermath. Episode 11 might be still a little bit of the aftermath at the beginning, and Hajime and his merry troop setting off towards the labyrinth. Maybe the princess will join them. I don't fucking know. Maybe Ehit's apostle will join the harem. That's, not improbable, so to speak. That's definitely not improbable. And they're gonna set off towards the labyrinth. At the end of episode 11, they're gonna enter it. Episode 12, they're gonna conquer it. And they're gonna cliffhang us. I think that's what they're gonna do. Episode 12 will be essentially sequel bait. Right? Something is gonna be revealed in the last labyrinth, in the last dungeon, that will have us at the edge of our seats, and that's when the episode will end, and that's when the season will end, and you will be left wanting season 3. Oh, that's gonna be evil, but I have a feeling that's what they're gonna do, and I hope they get what they want. I hope season 3 arrives, because yeah, if if it's gonna be an incremental improvement, I want to see season 3. If season 3 is to season 1, if season 3 is to season 2 what season 2 was to season 1, season 3 might be anime of the season, if you ask me honestly. If they improve the anime just a little bit more, if they throw some more budget at it, if they maybe make the first episode double length, or make the show 13 episodes long to get a little bit more of wiggle room, we can see something amazing. We can get something absolutely amazing. And I hope we will. I hope we will. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it from me. We're just gonna have to wait until episode 10 comes, and we will have to see what happens then, and that's gonna happen in a week. Well, a little less than a week, because I'm not releasing Arifureta episodes as soon as they air, because that would fuck up my schedule. That is already fucked up as is. I'm notoriously late with episodes because I decided that I'm gonna start releasing them as soon as they air, and it's not always feasible. Last season, I was releasing episodes a day after they aired, and it was perfectly fine. Yeah, I have to go back to that scheme, I guess. But yeah, that's gonna be it from me. So you guys tell me, what did you think of this episode? What did you think of my reaction? What do you think of my predictions? Do you agree with them? Do you disagree with them? Just keep in mind that if you know the source material, do not spoil me anything, I beg of you. If you want to throw some spoilers around, join my Discord server, link in the description. There's an Arifureta channel there where you can spoiler tags and talk with fellow people who read the source material and won't be spoiled. And I don't click those spoilers, so I won't be spoiled. The best of both worlds. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel so we get notified of future releases, not only Arifureta, but also Sabiku Ibisco. Tokyo 24Ku, Girls Front Line, and Symphogear. We're gonna be starting the second season of Symphogear somewhat soonish. So be on the lookout for that. If you really like what I'm doing, you can support me on Patreon. Link in the description. For $10 a month, you get early access to non-seasonal shows. In case of Symphogear, episode 13, the finale, you will see it 2 weeks earlier than people on YouTube. So if you can't wait, hey, throw me some money and you're gonna see it early. That's the deal. And for just $1, if you don't want to spend any more money, for even just $1, you get my appreciation and you get a special role on the Discord server, and it gives you access to a Patreon only channel where I sometimes have some discussion with you, where I sometimes post some announcements. It's cool to be there. Spread this video around, share it with people you think would enjoy it, because the more you guys spread the word about my videos, the more YouTube itself promotes them, and the better it is for me, because the more people watch it, and that's the dream of every content creator out there, for their content to be seen by as many people as humanly possible. So help me fulfill my wish, please. And join my Discord, already mentioned, link in the description. So that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers. Oh, there we go. That's another benefit you get as a Patreon supporter. You get to be in the credits, and maybe next time I won't have trouble switching to this screen. Who knows? Only time will tell.